Okay, welcome back to the bench. Today we're going to work on this carbon fiber frame rails and get it ready for a competition crawler. Even though I don't crawl, I'm just going to make one. Lightweight competition crawler. And over time we shall see what we come up with. So first of all, this came from TEMU. This is part of the TEMU deal, and I will put how much I paid for it in the description or right here in the video probably. But it comes with, this is all carbon fiber. This is a carbon fiber frame. And it's a low gravity, and we have a low gravity transmission coming for it. But without instructions, putting it together may be interesting. I'm going to look online and see if there's a picture of it. Might give me some idea of how it's supposed to look. But we shall see. I paid $44 for it. It's called a classic kit light. Yeah, of course, yeah, they do have a picture of how it should look. So this is what we're going to have to go by. So, first of all, we have two rails that are exactly the same. So left, right, right, left, no big deal. And we have a transmission plate, and I know how that goes. So that's pretty simple to figure out. So we can start there. Let's see what kind of screws we got. I do believe those are long enough. Let's see. This would be the first carbon fiber frame I've ever built or used. The skid plate has a beveled edge, which I'm assuming goes down, and also the screw holes for the transmission are countersunk, so you'd want those down too. I mean, it seems pretty well built and precision cut. Look, everything looks pretty darn good. Okay. Now, the battery tray is in here, and that looks like it zip ties on. I can see no way to screw it on, even though it shows screws. This has cuts in it, and it looks like it goes hold my phone up. Okay, so we got skid plates. And we have, I'm sure this is for a drag link, or I'm not exactly sure. I can't think of the name of it right now, but this would go here. And it fits pretty good for connecting. I can't think of the doggone name of it. It's an arm that goes this way to keep the axle from not called a drag link. Okay, so that is going to be pressed in when you do this here. Now it would be also your servo mount. Okay, so that goes there. This looks like a, let's try to figure out this skid plate, because it looks like that needs to be done first. They give you really long screws, 4 of them, it looks like. Actually give you 5, but, or 4. Okay, so these are going to be used with the spacers to create your skid plate, or rocker plates here with these little spacers. So I would say go through the smaller of the spacer is threaded. Then this would go kind of hard to tell which one goes on the inside and which one goes on the outside. But it looks like, I don't think it's going to make any difference unless they fit the contour of the, it's going to be one of those projects where I do everything twice, because you got possibilities, and so you got to figure out which one you're going to use. The smaller of the two, you have 2 small ones and 2 larger ones. They're both cut the same, but one of them is smaller in volumes than the other one. So let's see what happens. All right, so it looks like this is a 3-time figuring it out. Looking at the picture, they show a close-up of this, and I don't know how this is going to work, but it shows that the screw goes through the rail, through a spacer, through one of the rails, and then through another one, through the frame, and so it'll be adjustable. this goes here. Screw goes through this way. This goes here. And then I'm going to put the larger one on the inside. And then this screws on here. And then this one goes out here with one of these screws here. Since these bush spacers are all threaded, and it's tapered outward so it would slide off of something if it needed to. All right, put the other side on, we'll get there. Now, okay, so these brackets here are for the bumper. And that is here. And I think it goes probably on the outside. I don't know. Thread. These are all threaded. Oh, I see. I get it now. All right, so there's a slotted hole and a regular hole. This slotted part goes here. Then the tube goes here. And then another tube goes here and here. So it becomes a bumper. And then another tube goes here. They have it in the second hole, which I'm sure is adjustable too. I do believe that these nuts that come with it are to hold this bumper part on the, and it's adjustable again, so you can bring it in or out a few centimeters if you're putting some kind of a body on here. So you get two nuts here, two screws, and again it's adjustable. Not much, but it's adjustable. Then you got two tubes. There's two holes left. You put two tubes in. All right. So we'll go like this. Okay, so two tubes in the front. Whoa. One of these is shorter. All right, so they give you 3 short ones and 2 long ones. So that's another thing you got to figure out. where do these tubes go? The long or the short? There's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tubes. There we go with that, doing things twice. Where does this long one go? There's 4 short ones. Oh, there's 2 long ones and 3 short ones. Okay, I get it. The long ones, I can see now, since these brackets go on the outside of the frame rail, they're going to have to be longer. So the 2 long ones would go here. Okay, the 2 long ones go on the here where this bracket is on the outside. In the back here, you don't have this bracket. You just have one tube. So there's 3 short ones, and one of them goes here, and they got it in the second hole in the front. Okay, no, in the front it goes into this slider, this elongated hole here with an elongated, so it goes in there. One of them goes in there. And there's a little bit of adjustment there. Okay, then one goes in the back shock mount area. They got it in the second hole from the back. So that's where we'll put it for now. But I mean, you can put it anywhere in those holes where the shocks go. And then one goes in the back here. Okay. So the tubes, 2 long ones in the front, a short one here on this slotted area. Then 2 in the back, 1 in the shock tower area, and 1 on the very back. Okay. So now we have the battery tray, and then this thing. Interesting. It looks like you put a screw through here, through the shock mount area. Then it goes, there's a nut that goes into this slotted area. Okay. Now this piece right here, I have no idea what it's for, but it goes here. And basically the screw goes through, the nut sits inside of this slot. It looks like the size of a nut. Okay, and then tightens up and let's not use that screw. I mean, it could be a receiver plate. gets wedged in there pretty good. So I'm assuming that's how it works. So there's a nut that goes in. I don't know if you can see it. There's a nut that goes in. That's a little spot that looks like a nut. And a screw goes through the bracket into the nut. It's a rather precarious place to put it. It works. It's, not how I would have engineered it, but it works. Of course, I didn't put the screws in the plates, so we will have to redo that. You can put the nuts on these screws before you put this plate in, and then slide the nut down inside the slot and tighten it, which makes it easier. Alrighty. So I hope you guys can see that. These the nuts go in the slots on this, and tighten them up. It works. Interesting. Okay, so this is very lightweight, and I need to, I don't know, maybe I can get those on there. With those on, because of the offset as. That would be good. Yep, I can. All right. There it is. Very lightweight. Low center of gravity in the middle. It's not forward or back. Okay. I'm seeing that might be a receiver plate. And then they give you 3 zip ties for this battery tray, which probably they show it. I don't know how they show it. Okay, they have it zip tied around the frame and through these slots. That's kind of a hunky way to do it, but that's the way they do it. So this is zip tied in. I'm sure you could come up with something different, but that's the way it goes in. Maybe that's the way they all work. I don't know. All right, so I think I got it all put together correctly. Yep. All right, so there it is. Remember, these are 2 long ones. Then the rest of them are shorter. One goes in the back, one goes in the middle of these adjustable. So if you got something, these, just remember the larger one goes on the inside and screwed in. These are threaded. The spacers are threaded. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, this is not junk. To me, it's pretty well put together. Now, it's the first time I've done a carbon frame, and I might be way off base here, but I don't think so. I think this is a fairly decent frame. And it's weight forwarded. It's not centered. The weight is all forward because you got 2 things here. And you want the weight forward for when you're climbing. So, and they give you screws for to mount the transmission. And those are threaded too. Well, 2 of them are threaded and 2 of them aren't. So I'll set it in the top. Okay, so there it be. Not bad for, what did I say it cost? $48. I don't know what it cost on Amazon. That's $44. Yeah, here it is. The exact same one on Amazon is $45. And on TEMU it was $48. So pretty much the same price. Alrighty then. That is it for the carbon frame, low center of gravity frame. So thanks for watching. Have a great day.